Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Rise on Switch, where I just pulled my keyboard over and accidentally hit a bunch of buttons that I probably shouldn't have. But this game, it's a thing. We're playing it. I'm gonna get a lobby set up. There we go. I know 15's a little higher than it needs to be, but it's what we're doing. And taking it easy and taking it easy, apparently. I feel like other games had more options for these. I guess we're taking it easy before anyone is welcome now. Haha. Hey, Wolfkinson. And today is April 25th. So there we go. Oh, there's a lottery. I already did it. I wish the whistling would stop after, so that I could keep listening to my hub music. Yeah, today we are going to be focusing on monsters that were added in this game. And we'll also be doing an Apex Rathlos at some point, because that's the closest to Silver Rathlos we have, I guess. And I mean, the Allmother is a place to start. Because that gets both Ibushi and Nara. Right, lobby ID. That's a thing that I need to get out there. And I will get that into a pinned comment. I like how the lowercase letters only sneak in at the very end. And there we go. Welcome to the party, Wolfkinson. Oh, nice insurance. I even have a photo on my guild card on this file. I do, from forever ago. Whatever. Yeah, no worries, Wolfkinson. As long as you can handle what we throw at you, I don't care what your set is. Man, it feels so good being actually on the Rise version of Hammer again. Strong charge and the way it changes my my charge attacks. I mean, let's be honest, I just love how it gets rid of the spinning move. Everything else is secondary. Getting rid of the spin, that's where it's at. Also, Big Bang combo is nice to have. Hey, guard. Yeah, unfortunately, it is not possible for PC and Switch to play together. As much as I wish it was, it's just not a thing. Apparently, Capcom looked into it and decided it wouldn't be possible. And I'm willing to bet it's because of paid DLC. Just the way they implemented it, they probably couldn't make it so that things could properly track, and they didn't want to give anyone access to things that they couldn't prove they got. At least that's why they don't have cross-save, I'm pretty sure. Cross-play, I don't know why, actually. But cross-save is definitely a case of the paid DLC and the licenses for it not being so transferable. It'd be nice if they could just be like, hey, yeah, we can't do cross-save, but cross-play, sure. Especially now that all the content is basically unified across things. I mean, there's still a few things that Switch has that PC will just never get. Like the amiibo layered armors, which is kind of sad. Be nice if they let us, like, just pay a little bit for that on PC. Just give it to us. That's all I ask. she didn't stay down for long. Oh yeah, already on the thing. I have been well, Guard, and I hope the same is true for you. Hope you've been doing better than you were last time. For some reason, I thought her face would be closer to where I was when she got done with that. Okay, I would argue that Kushala is the worst possible option here, but he's who we get. Still wish we could keep the All-Mother music. So we're probably not getting that belly break. Just not if we don't get another stun. Yeah, like one of those. There it is. And there we go. I still have a lot of prep work to do to get this file ready for Sunbreak. Like, my console file is definitely closer to where I would want it to be. Though, in terms of charms, I think this file actually has it better, and has had it better for a long time. I got really good stuff really early on here. Wow. One whole scale of origin in the quest reports. I guess we also got a horn of origin, but still. Sure do love getting a hide from the stomach brick. So now we need to do a quest with Mr. Mallow. Just trying to see if there's a good one. I mean, we could just do Mr. Mallow by himself. But if there's one that's got a little more excitement, but also has monsters that we care about, that would be nice. Like, yeah, there's the event Magna Mallow that will just hurt. But I don't think I want to do that. Here we go. And it's a USJ quest that I definitely need at least one more set of tickets from, so yeah. There we go. It's got 3 monsters that were added in this game. That's perfect. Oh boy, Guard, do I know how Monster Hunter Rise is all about that Zenny farm life. Everything is so expensive. And hey, Reggie's, no worries about not being able to join. It's fine. I'm aware that actually most of my, well, a good chunk of my friends cannot join when I play on PC. But PC is where I need the parts and stuff, so PC is where I'm going. It's interesting. I actually have more of my real-life friends on the PC version. But, like, I think I'm the, no, there was one of my other friends, well, one of my other friends who was ever active at all actually double dipped. Most of my Switch friends were just content to stay on Switch. But I had to do both because, I mean, it's a Monster Hunter game. I gotta. Also, I like the smooth frame rates and the 4K. At some point, I need to actually go around and grab all the relic records I'm missing on this file. Also, in case anyone is at all curious about the title of this stream, it's a Generation 5 Monster Hunter game, and the hunters have voices. There you go. Generation 5 VOX. I guess he just did not want to stick around. Another thing I want to do before Sunbreak comes out on this file in particular, I want to get at least a good Switch X set going on with probably a couple different axes. Because this is going to become my absolute main file. And dang it, if it's going to be my main file, I want it to use my main weapon in Sunbreak at least. Wolfkinson, we can absolutely cap the Almudron. We can cap the Magnum Hollow too. In fact, I would like to cap both of them. Because orbs. Actually, on the subject of the Magnum Hollow, I'm gonna go grab it. Honestly, if there was any mod I would buy for this, or not buy, but install for this game, whoops, I did not press my Punisher in time. Oh well. But if there was any mod I would install for this game, it would be one that made it so that the mount music didn't take over. Oh. Rip Wolfkinson. How much agony it was to hammer an Almudron. Well, your game crashed. That's no good. Though, thankfully, in this game, you should be able to just rejoin the quest just fine. Like, you'll miss out on a couple Almudron break rewards, but other than that, no real issues. Sometimes I forget I don't have 3-wire bugs. Yeah, it'd be nice if they added crossplay in Sunbreak. I doubt they will. So, I might as well ride the Almudron, but I think what I'm going to do is swap targets to the Magnum Hollow so that Wolfkinson doesn't have to miss out on the Almudron rewards entirely. That would be a nice thing to do. Why does Almudron have to be such a bad ride? Its Punisher is really trash. Kind of hoping that Polisher would kick in and I'd finish sharpening in time, but nope. Can't ride my dog because I forgot to put deflagration relief back on him. It's going to be exciting seeing just how much of a difficulty jump Master Rank is going to be for Rise. Because, like, Generations was real easy, but GU is significantly less so in Master Rank. Like, it's definitely still fairly easy for a lot of quests, but then there's also the quests where it is absolutely not. And generally, monsters in G rank and GU are faster and can do more than they can in 4U. What makes them difficult is, or less difficult, is mostly the fact that GU hunters are more capable than 4U hunters. I'm curious how far they're going to push it with Sunbreak relative to Base Rise. Because Base Rise is by far the easiest Monster Hunter game I have played. By far. But they could well make Sunbreak considerably more difficult. It's all going to depend on how they feel like going. This Magnum Hollow does not like this frog. And apparently the feeling is mutual. No, 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 no. Not the Almadron. Did a bonk instead of anything else because I didn't want to risk killing the Almadron early. Damn it, Magnum Hollow. Stop playing with the Almadron. Reggie's, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a Magnum Hollow variant. A Magnum Hollow subspecies, on the other hand, I don't think we'll see. All right, Wolfkinson's back in. Okay. Time for a frog. There is no need for us to capture this thing. It's worthless. I mean, yeah, I expect, Guard, I also expect that the Apex emergency quests are effectively going to be just, hey, those were secretly G-rank monsters. But, yeah. So I imagine most of Master Rank will not be so difficult relative to the gear that we are in. Yeah, no worries, Wolfkinson. It is easy to wait to capture something for someone to get back in. Because, yeah, there were other monsters to focus on. If it was the only monster in the quest, might have been different. But that was a 3-monster quest. There were other options. Okay, so we do need Gosharag, but I bet there's a better quest for it. Okay, yeah, I definitely need the tickets from this quest, so this is the quest that we do. Sure, it's got some monsters that aren't unique to this game, but it's fine. Congrats on your Almadron orb, Wolfkinson. Or should I perhaps say orb? Wait, why did that not work? Why is that not working? Oh, maybe it is working. Yes, it is working. I just have my headphone volume so low that I can't hear it very well over the game. Because, dang it, this game is loud in my headphones at least, and I think I've got it tied to the same slider for the volume in the stream and the volume in my headphones. And, yeah. I'll turn off the effect now. Seems Wolfkinson is having some troubles. Welcome back. So, one thing, Wolfkinson, about the PC version, there's some ports that if you don't forward can result in firewalls kicking you off the multiplayer every once in a while. Because Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise on PC use peer-to-peer connections, which... Okay, what the heck? Why did my game just get minimized? That was weird. But, yeah, they use peer-to-peer connections instead of, like, actual factual servers, which a lot of firewalls from a lot of ISPs just by default treat as, hey, that's not good, we need to shut it down. So if you forward the correct ports, then it will dramatically reduce instances of DCs like those, if that's not something you've done already. Game, please. I pressed nothing that would make anything not be... My game just decided to not be the active window twice, which is a problem. Because A, it makes the window that you're viewing through slightly smaller, and B, my control inputs do not go through when Monster Hunter Rise is not the active app. But yeah, port forwarding, it's an important thing. You should look up what you need to do and get it done at some point. Because it'll reduce any instances of DCs. Admittedly, Rise seems to have less of a problem with it than World did. I don't know why. World was really bad about it. Like, I would try playing with friends and they would DC mid-quest almost every single time. And Rise just... It's not as bad, but it's still a thing. Guard, my hammer build is as such, and it's actually got no focus whatsoever. Hammer just charges fast in this game. Yeah, I have got Crit Eye 5, Handy 4, Agitator 3, Weak X 3, Stun Res 3, Crit Boost 1, Punish Draw 1, Pierce Up 1. Not that that matters. Recovery Speed 1, Windproof 1, Evade Window 1, Flinch Free 1, and a couple other things that don't matter. A lot of the things that are just 1 point were just incidental. The stuff I've got multiple points in, other than flinch-free, are the things that I actually went for. No roar for you. Guard, if you used hammer and it doesn't charge this fast, then that gives me one potential idea as to what might be the cause. It's possible that hammer charge is based on number of frames spent charging. In which case, PC hammers would be buffed significantly relative to console hammers. And I'd rather just keep the berry off here than go chase after the rabbit. We don't need help beating the rabbit. But yeah, either it's based on frames, or maybe it's because I'm in the strong charge mode or something. I'm not 100% certain. I wouldn't know. Hey, Jess. No worries about being late. We don't take attendance here. Now you got me curious, though. I'm gonna have to see if bumping it up to 120 FPS makes me charge faster. So, like... Okay, I think I got a feel for that. And now, if I just quickly bump up to 120 FPS, which I don't normally do on stream, just so that I can have my GPU dedicate. Nah, 120 FPS charging is no faster. Yeah, usually I don't do 120 FPS while streaming because I need my GPU to have some cycles left for rendering the 1080p signal that you guys get. And 4K 60 on this game uses almost exactly half of my GPU's resources. So yeah, don't want to use all of the GPU's resources on just the game and leave you guys in the lurch. Well, there's one other thing I can test. I can see if 30 FPS makes it slower. Maybe there's a cap. So that was 60. God, it's going to feel so terrible putting this down to 30. Oh, my eyes. No, that's the same speed. I guess it just feels slower because there's fewer frames going on. I think that's it. I think It probably charges the exact same speed on Switch. It just doesn't feel as fast or as smooth because there are fewer frames happening to give that feeling of smoothness. This rabbit seems small. Like, real small. My biggest hope for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is that we get Crown Party event quests back. Please, Capcom, make it happen. Yeah, Guard, whip out your Monster Hunter Rise on Switch right now and see if it still holds that it does charge slower. Like, find a time when I'm charging, start charging alongside me. Just as soon as you see me start charging yourself. And, like, accounting for the delay that will naturally be present. See if it does take significantly longer. Because now I'm curious and we got to do some science. Okay, this rabbit I will go bonk into the Gossarag. Even though the rabbit is a terrible, terrible ride. Oh, so much for that KO. Well, not small enough to be worth anything. Am I back? Or is it just in the chat box? Is the stream back? Oh, good. The stream is back. Thank goodness. So, my entire internet just went down for like a minute. So that was a thing. First, I saw Wolfkinson DC'd and was like, oh, I hope Wolfkinson's fine and didn't just crash, because then he can at least finish the quest on his own, because we only have the one monster left. And then I got a communication error and was like, oh, maybe it was me. And then I looked over at YouTube and it said, you're not online. And I was like, oh, yep, definitely me. And then I was in kind of a panic, but I couldn't stop playing because there is a pause button, but I was in a mount, so I could not pause at the time. And oh boy, it was just a whole deal. But I'm glad I am back. So I'm like a fifth of a second faster than you on Switch, and that's after accounting for delay in when you start. Because reaction time is absolutely a factor. Okay, in that case, my guess, if there's still a delay, or if there's still a longer period for you to charge on Switch versus here, after factoring in your reaction times delay, my best guess would be maybe the difference is accounted for by dropped frames, like going below 30. Might actually, like, slow the whole game down or something. Because I know, like, on the N64, that was a pretty common thing where games would only have their game time advance based on the frame rate that the N64 was pushing at the time. So, like, DK64... if your frames were dropping, if you were lagging in terms of frame rate, the game itself would start to lag to compensate. So maybe Capcom's pulling something like that in Monster Hunter Rise? It'd definitely be a weird solution, especially if, say, it still applied while playing online. But it's theoretically possible. I mean, it's a solution that game companies have implemented before. Sure do love getting beast gems instead of bile from Gosarag. He's got his own rare thing. He doesn't need to give beast gems. And I guess it's time for me to go make another hub. And hopefully we get to stick around this time. Congrats on your bile, Wolfkinson. Troubled Waters seems a fine quest to get our Somnicanth in. Oh, whoops. I made a mistake in that lobby ID. R's were supposed to be capitalized. Darn case-sensitive stuff. You'd think they wouldn't really need it to be case-sensitive, considering they already have 16 alphanumeric characters here. Which is considerably more characters than the Switch lobbies had. It's kind of weird, honestly. Okay.
Let us.
I see this is Wolfkinson's first time here. At least first time here on this file. Still weirds me out that this fish roars. I actually don't want to keep doing all these sliding attacks. It's just Hammer loves to slide. Whether you want to or not. Are you on the slightest of inclines? Time to slide. I mean, Juratotus is a fine fish. Like, in terms of fish that are enjoyable to hunt while they are able to swim and you're not, like, yeah, Juratotus is the most pleasant water fish fight they've had for landlocked hunters. It's not saying much. Yeah, it's a fine fish. It's weird that they made it high rank only in Rise. That I will absolutely agree with. Though Juratotus in Rise, I actually enjoy the hunt. It's absolutely forgettable in World. But in Rise, totally fine. It's a good fish. The only fish I enjoy hunting more as a landlocked hunter is GU Lavasioth. Specifically GU Lavasioth, not World Lavasioth. World Lavasioth can go home. Kind of surprised this is the only fish this game has, though. And everything is broken. Yeah, Beatotus is good, but like Beatotus is better than just this Juratotus. But I still gotta give it to GU Lavasioth. Giula of Oziath is an adorable hot tub fish, and I love it for that. I really wish Somnicanth had more going for it. Like, it's an aesthetically very interesting design, but its fight is, in my opinion, held back by the fact that it's a mid-tier monster. There's not so much they can have it do. Like, I love how it's a Leviathan that has totally unique movements. No other Leviathan moves like it does. I always appreciate when there are monsters that move unlike any other monster. I wish they got to shine more. Kind of crazy that this game lets us get our health up to 250. Considering the highest that we could ever get until World rolled around was 150. And then in World, the highest we could get was 200. Hunter health has been steadily creeping upward for the entirety of Gen 5. So, apparently I still can upswing people. Good to know. I see you working those claws. Yeah, it can be a little tough getting multiple bonks on one wall. At this point, I doubt we're getting the claws. I'd rather increase our chances at an orb. Oh boy, 2 wyvern gems. Yeah, guard, I think you'll be just fine on armor spheres for a while. I love me some Valstrax. We gotta do some Valstrax. But in before Sunbreak, brings back Royal and True armor spheres. And suddenly all those hardened heavies you have just aren't going to be anywhere near enough to get actual upgrades. Okay, I'm gonna go grab our monkey friend and bring him over to our quest target. Guard, I'm pretty sure they'll follow the same model they did with Iceborne as far as Armospheres go. I'm sorry, how did that beam not hit? Dang it. Thought I had time, but didn't. There's definitely aspects of this version of Valstrax's theme that I like better than the GU version. But overall, I gotta give it to GU. Guard, I am like 90% certain your Camera points will still be just as valid in Elgato, considering Elgato is going to be learning the Camera ways for crafting and all that. So yeah, I'm 90% certain you'll be just fine. Considering we got... well, considering there's been no game in the series so far where they ever changed what types of points we use between games. Or, like, between a game and its expansion. Oh man, he was about to do an intake. Probably would have been a long one too. Here's one. Well, that certainly wasn't a long one, but for a reason. Well, hey, Reggies, whatever quest you enjoy is a quest worth repeating. If people weren't allowed to repeat quests they'd already completed, then I would have no quests left to do in this game, so yeah. Doesn't matter if you've already completed a quest, as long as you're having fun. I love how Valstrax goes from area to area even faster in this game than he did in GU. Love it. Kinda shocked we didn't get the wing break. And no snake. The snake has literally never been here when I thought to look for it on this file. Gratz Wolfkinson on your orb. And missed the lucky feline again. Reggie's, it's an interesting, but probably pointless thought experiment to wonder what kind of subspecies an elder dragon would get. Considering there are very, very, very few elder dragons that actually get subspecies. Like, in terms of elder dragons with actual subspecies that are counted as subspecies fully, we've got Lao with Ashen Lao, Hallowed Gen and Goldbeard Seadeus, Shah Dalmadur, and for the main series, that is literally it. So they're all big fellas, too. And you could argue that Crimson and White Fatalis are subspecies, but they are literally never treated as such in the games. If anything, they are treated as variants. So, yeah. It's not common at all for elder dragons to get subspecies, especially not elder dragons who are not very large. Ah, right, Orochi Kirin also exists. Sorry, Capcom basically forgot about Orochi Kirin after 3U, and so did I. Or not 3U, 4U. 4 and 4U. Yes, Orochi Kirin also exists. At least theoretically. Reggie's, whether a monster is powerful or not has nothing to do with whether it gets a variant. They gave Valstrax a variant because they wanted to really pump up its ability to do elemental damage and stuff. Like, Crimson Glow Valstrax does a lot more with its dragon energy than regular Valstrax does. And I'm pretty sure that's the whole reason they gave it a variant, is just so they could have an excuse for that. And also so that they could just play around with the visual of it, too. Because, like, we didn't get regular Valstrax in this game. We got Crimson Glow Valstrax. Crimson Glow Valstrax's dragon energy is running out of control to the point... Dang it, this Rathalos is going farther away from me. Yeah, it's running out of control to the point where it's actually tearing apart the Valstrax's skin, basically. Like, you can see big wounds where the wings meet the rest of the Valstrax. Dang it, I have gone the wrong way again. And in fact, if I just didn't go anywhere after hopping on this Magnum Hollow, I would have been basically in the right place. Instead, I just went in a big circle. Also, I said basically in the right place, but no, this is literally where I hopped on the Magnum Hollow. If you want to talk about strong monsters getting variants, again, technically the Fatalis trio, Crimson and White Fatalis, are technically variants rather than subspecies. And Ruiner Nergigante is also a variant, so... Capcom does have a long history of giving variants to powerful monsters. Rusted Kushala Daora is a variant. One of the earliest variants. Furious Rajang is one of the earliest variants. Are there any weak monsters that have gotten a variant? I think, like, the weakest monster to have gotten a variant might be Legiana. Maybe Barioth, I guess. Depends on which of those two you feel is weaker, Barioth or Legiana. Reggie's, while Shigaru, it is not a subspecies, nor is it treated as one. It is the adult form of Gormagala. It is treated as a separate species in much the same way that Gravios is treated as a separate species from Bosarios. And the same way that, well, a different way, but a similar way to how Rathian is treated as a different species from Rathalos. Creatures of the same species are pretty frequently treated as separate species in Monster Hunter just because that's how it is. There's probably some lore book like, oh, we discovered this one first and then this one second, and we thought they were different species entirely, but then we learned that they weren't, but we're still keeping the old classifications because otherwise we'd have to rewrite things or whatever. Just tried using the D-pad for camera control. That's not a thing in this game. Wow, this poor guy. And hey, there's another example of a variant, Chaotic Gormagala. Yeah, honestly, what bugs me the most about Gore's classification is that it's still classified as question mark in GU, despite being known for a while at that point to be the juvenile form of Shigaru Magala. It is known that it is a juvenile Elder Dragon. I'm pretty sure the whole reason they haven't reclassified it, like, in-game, is just so that they don't have to explain why specifically this Elder Dragon can be captured. Yeah, guard, if you have 3 wire bugs, you can be faster without a Palamute. Otherwise, like, if you're actually dashing with the Palamute will be faster. And as soon as you have to climb up vines, the Palamute will be faster every single time. But for the most part, yeah, you can be just fine with a Palico. If you have to climb up vines, damn it, Palamutes will always win. I mean, Reggie's, if they bring back Gore and Sunbreak, it's entirely possible they just do what GU did and not have frenzied monsters, just have Gore. And if it's just Gore with the Frenzy Virus, it's basically ignorable, because, oh no, you got hit with the Frenzy Virus, just keep hitting the monster and it'll be a buff instead. Like, yeah, you basically just ignore that it exists. It's just a buff during the quest. Congrats on your fat wallet, guard. Okay, let's see. What do we still have that is worth doing here? Yeah, this is always an exciting quest. Yeah, Frenzy Virus is basically just an affinity buff whenever it's present. If monsters are frenzied, that's when the Frenzy Virus becomes slightly more annoying, mainly because it's going to change up how they act. But if it's just Gore or just Shigaru, it is straight up just, hey, you get a buff for being on this quest. Good job. Unless you're just really getting bopped around all the time or not being aggressive at all, it's very unlikely that you'll fail to overcome the Frenzy Virus. Oh, that's right. You actually have to respect the damage output of the monsters on this quest. You have to really respect it. Wow, I've never been that far away from that move. I didn't realize that it, like, actually extended a line. It's neat. What? What was that? Well, Reggie's good news. I have a feeling if Devil Joe was going to be in Rise at all, he would already be here. So you're probably safe. I won't say for sure that you are, because they could always just decide, hey, you know what? We've got this 5th Gen Joe. We're going to use him. But the fact that Rise started off with Rajang in it, and they didn't add Joe later, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like they're going to add Joe. Especially considering, like, Joe started off, like, the very first Joe quests you ever did. Like, you would probably find him in the Flooded Forest before just about anywhere else, because Peko. And we've got the Flooded Forest here, so, like, we have maps that Joe has been on, and yet he is not here. I feel like, yeah, if he was gonna be here, he'd already be here. And with Joe being more of a Godzilla figure than anything else, I can't imagine them picking him to represent some Western horror creature. Considering, yeah, Sunbreak's focus is going to be on creatures that fit Western horror, much like how Rise's focus was creatures that are yokai-like. So, like, everything is pointing towards potentially no pickles in Sunbreak, which, I mean, Sunbreak would be the first game he's missed since he was first added to the series. Well, that doesn't mean he can't miss it. And in fact, I think it's probably about time for him to miss a game. Chameleos is absolutely the cutest Elder Dragon. I will give you that, Guard. As far as actually fighting it goes, it is not my favorite. Valstrax is a much more fun fight to me. But Chameleos is adorable. I cannot deny that. The way he stamps around like that. Adorable. Kind of shocked Camelios hasn't made Kushala mountable yet. Reggie's, I wouldn't call it strange that we haven't seen Kieran and Rise, specifically because Kieran doesn't really fit the yokai theming. Like, it's a unicorn, so maybe we'll see it in Sunbreak if they extend out of Western horror into just generic Western mythology. But we'll have to see. Just realized I didn't drink my demon drug or my armor skin. Wolfkinson, Astalos' Western horror connection is, well, we've got Frankenstein's monster in the form of Garangolm, but it doesn't use lightning. It needs lightning to animate it. There you go. Solved. Well, since I'm here. Wow, that was weird. Ground just disappeared for a moment. The extra wire bug isn't here. Well, the rest of this Punisher is worthless. Oh yeah, all 4 carbs in one go. So nice having Big Bang to use on downed Teos. still interesting that they gave high rank Teo, Iceborne Teo's master rank move. Another thing that's nice about Rise Teo relative to the last Teo I hammered, freaking Freedom Unite Teo, I don't need to do dragon damage to those horns to break them. I wonder what my fire res is. 0. Okay. And that move right there was Teo's G rank move in 4U. This Teo is made up of no fewer than 2 G-rank Teos, but he is a high-rank Teo. And he is still easier than either of the G-rank ones. Amazing what adding to a hunter's capabilities can do. Nice horn break. Reggie's the monster that I am hoping to return in Sunbreak. Let's see. There's a lot I would like to see come back. Rip. But, dang it, there was one that I definitely had in mind as, like, I really want this back. But I'm kind of spacing right now. My mental bandwidth is being taken up by this toaster. What was it? I mean, I definitely want to see, well, most of the monsters that we have unattended children for in this game. Like, Agnactor would be real cool to see. And, I mean, depending on what they do with it, Gravios could be good. Or it could suck more. And then, like, Zamtrios would be neat to see. Yamatsukami. I want to see Yamatsukami come back. I wanted to see that thing come back in Rise because I feel like with the mobility that they've given us, the vertical mobility they've given us especially, Yamatsukami could be a lot more interesting this time around than it was back in Freedom Unite. And, like, it's been long enough. It's time. Give us the octopus. I'd also love to see Gogmazios come back. And Atal Ka. Atal Ka coming back and using her threads while we're using our threads would be a very... Like, they could do some real interesting stuff with it. I want Atal Ka to come back, and I want to see what they do with her. And, like, Atal Ka can absolutely fit the Western horror trope. She's very Egyptian-themed. We've got mummies. Like, mummies are a staple in Western horror. So, yeah, there is absolutely room for Atal Ka to come back. That's my answer. The one monster I most want to see come back is Atal Ka. Oh boy, I got a Kami gem and 2 Teo gems. Basil, indeed. Basil's always fun. Also, probably the one thing that would make me happiest in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is, like, I don't know. In terms of actually hunting it, I probably wouldn't be the happiest, but I'd enjoy it. Confirm Giginox and deconfirm Kezu. Like, give us Giginox and Baleful Giginox. They're adding subspecies. Give us those two and remove Kezu from the game. And absolutely do not add Red Kezu. That's what I want to see happen. And, like, Giginox armor, I bet, would be able to make some real nice Fashion Hunter mixed sets with Malzeno. Considering they are both vampire-themed equipment. So yeah, give me Giginox gear to mix with Malzeno gear. So here's an interesting little tidbit. The last bit of Monster Hunter Rise, the last bit of Sunbreak info we got, Capcom had announced ahead of time, like, we'll be revealing more Sunbreak info in spring. And then we got the last reveal stream, like, a few days before the vernal equinox. Which means technically we got it before spring. And this time Capcom has told us, hey, we're getting our next Sunbreak info in May. So it's entirely possible that they mean very early in May, which means we could theoretically get our next Sunbreak info drop, like, in less than a week. Naturally, they haven't said anything concrete about the timing, but it's possible. Of course, it could be late May that we get it, but with how early they announced it, I think it's more likely than not that we'll get it sooner. So yeah, I think maybe first week of May, we might get our next Sunbreak info drop. I actually do want to see Seething Basil return, but I'd love to see it return as not a replacement for standard Basil. Variants are a lot more fun when they also have the base version of that monster in the game, especially because then they can do a quest with both versions of the monster, which really lets you do the whole compare and contrast thing, and it's super fun, and I love it. Also, damn, 1251 damage on that wake-up bonk. Thanks for the crit stuff there, Wolfkinson. It definitely helped me bonk this Basil harder. I love Basil's roar. Like, honestly, just all the sounds Basil makes are great. Sound design team did a great job putting sounds on this monster. Though, admittedly, having the roar get truncated when it's just doing a regular roar feels kind of wrong. I kind of wish that, specifically in Rise, they didn't do that. Like, Basil didn't have that truncated roar in World. I feel like if they had made a new roar sound that didn't sound like it was just being cut short, that sounded like it was just naturally shorter, it would be better. But, like, Diablos and Basil both get these truncated roars that just sound weird. Regis, they're not based off of yokai specifically, but Narwa and Ibushi are based off of Fujin and Raijin. So Ibushi is Fujin, Narwa is Raijin. They're basically deities of wind and thunder. And to compare them to Pokemon that are based off the exact same things, Ibushi is Tornadus and Narwa is Thundurus. Based off the exact same mythical creatures. Or beings, rather. You know, it occurs to me, this guy has a gem. Silver large. It would also be neat to see Monoblos come back in Sunbreak, but I don't think we're going to see that happen. It's a shame. Monoblos is, in my opinion, aesthetically much more interesting than Diablos, but since Monoblos has always been hunt this thing solo, we basically just aren't allowed to have it in a game with a multiplayer focus. And, like, it's not like we're missing out on some super cool-looking equipment with Monoblos, because it's just recolors of Diablos gear. Which is really sad, especially considering Monoblos and Diablos have completely different horns, but suddenly Monoblos horns are all curvy when you get them into armor. Dang, what do we even still have in this game that is worth hunting? I know, we haven't done a rampage. Let's do a rampage. Let's do this rampage, because I need its tickets more. Yeah, Reggie's, it is... I have no expectations for Deviants to return in Sunbreak, considering the Apex monsters we have in Rise are already just... They took the moves that the Deviants had and put them on non-Deviant monsters. Like, they're already effectively Deviants. So there's no reason for them to add Deviants. Like, why would they add Deviant Zenogre? Why would they add Thunderlord when just Apex Zenogre has all of its moves? There's no reason to. We already got our Deviants, effectively. They are called Apexes now. Game I did not want to get on my dog. Dang, we're doing pretty decent on dropped materials. It'd be neat if Sunbreak brought back Garuga and we're like, oh, it's a crow. It's a reference to the birds. That's Western horror. I see you're already going for it. Well, it looks like we're pretty much guaranteed an S+ here. Remove spiders from rampages, Capcom. Or at least make it so that their heads can be actually targeted for stunning. Please. They are the worst gate crashers. I'd say they are the worst thing in rampages, but that belongs to Bisha 10. Bisha 10s are just annoying for no reason. Glad that wasn't going for me. Is our big bear coming in now? Sure is. Look at that. The Dragonator actually got to be worth something. For my cluster shot. Tired bear. And there we go. I hope the next Monster Hunter game to have Devil Joe in it also has Pecco in it. It's just not the same having Devil Joe without Pecco. What do you know, an S+. Who could have guessed? Oh boy, I got an Almadron plate. Alright, I got one last quest in me. So let's find something interesting. I think interesting in this case means another Valstrax. I like Valstrax. Almost forgot about the item box. Alright, let's go get this hunt started. And nap time. I really wish Crimson Glow Valstrax would do longer intakes more often. Like, GU Valstrax would always have its intakes be the same duration. But Crimson Glow Valstrax does some short, some long. And the short ones you basically just can't punish unless you already did some work. Still love how quickly VOX goes from place to place in this game. That was another quick one. But I mean, I guess it makes sense that Crimson Glow Valstrax occasionally does quick intakes, because you also get an extra bit of free damage when you manage to exploit one. Like, it's more than just the knockdown that it was in GU. It's some pretty significant damage and a knockdown as it explodes. Nice. Well, we didn't get the punish, but we broke his back. And there's face break number 2. So the only break that can still give us a reward is a claw. Unless we want to get out cut weapons real quick. There's some high-altitude Remobras. This might be too close. It is not. And there we go. No further breaks will grant us any additional rewards. Good thing, too. We were very rude to his right side. Like, left wing, left claw, fine. Right wing and right claw, busted. Hi, Miss Kadaki. What brings you here? Okay, bye. And with that, this stream is done. Thanks everyone for joining in to watch and chat and all of that. Thanks Wolfkinson for hunting with me. And I will see you folks again on Thursday for Iceborne on PC. See you then, friends.